Hello, Todd Clemens, Okeechobee Livestock Market, and here is your weekly market report. It's been a while since I've done one. I'd like to thank my brother for taking over for the last couple of weeks, Audra for keeping the show rolling. Had a little bit of time off there. Last time I spoke to you guys was that was the week of the Cattlemen's Convention, I believe. Man, it was a good convention. A lot of people. We got to visit around with everybody at the trade show, and we had a big sale on Thursday. The Marco Island Producers Cattle Auction sale was a stem winder and a bell ringer, for sure. We had a really good sale there, but over the last couple of weeks, things have moved on. I'm glad to be back in the office and doing this market report with you today. As far as the market goes, we had a good sale this week. And we're kind of seeing numbers compared to last year, not quite where they were. For instance, last year we had 1,500 head, and yesterday we had about 1,200 head. And I think that's not only here, but just a condition of where we are with cattle inventory, land developing, and things like that going on. Probably just a few fewer cattle in the area. But that kind of leads us into another thing that I noticed on the market this week. And like I said, in the last 2 weeks, I couldn't tell you, but yesterday, and I'm going to show you some prices here on yesterday's market report that maybe we could be seeing a sign of some heifer retention. There's a good demand on real good quality heifers, replacement type heifers. And we've talked about the spread between steer prices and heifer prices have been up around 30 cents. And just to give you a few quotes on yesterday's market, and this is a USDA Market News Service report, not ours, it's USDA market reported. Okay, so on the steers, number one steer class weighing 374, that price was $4.07 a pound. And that's the net average weight and net average price for that group of cattle. That's the steers. On the heifer side, the heifers weighed 376. The net average weight 376. Net price 293. So you can look and see that that's about 15 cents on those 3-weight heifers. That's not a lot for a little calf. On the 4-weight steers weighing 475. The net average price was 268. So 475 at 268 on the heifer side. 469 at 261, definitely under 20 cents there. And the heavier you get, it looks like it's closer. On the 600-pound class, number one steers net average weight of 630 and a net average price of 248. The heifers weighed 611 at 225. It's definitely getting a little bit closer. Could be signs of these heifers are a little bit more in demand. Steers normally are in higher demand because they feed out better, convert their feed a lot better, and they just are more efficient at feeding. So why are you giving more for heifers? To me, it would make sense that they're probably buying these calves and they're going to graze them out on these summer pastures and pick through them and pick out the better end of those heifers and keep them as replacement heifers. That's just what I'm thinking. And I know we've got some of these replacement heifer sales coming up. The Cattlemen's has one. We have one here at the market. That's all happening, I think, towards the end of August. And we're looking for some pretty high prices on those replacement heifers. Bred heifers are going to be pretty high. And on into October when we have our bull sales, get geared up to bring a pretty hefty check to pay for those bulls. But that's the signs of an up market. And the calf market, as good as it is, we're just at a different level. So that being said, we had some really good calves here. I'd just like to name off just a few that I remember coming through. Russell Kilpatrick had 80 some odd head of calves that came in here yesterday, and they were sure enough good number one calves. People's family down there, Jimmy Peoples, his family brought in some really good calves, big heavy calves. Old River Cattle Company has some really good calves in here, and I'm going to leave somebody out, but just to mention a few, Michael Rainbot, Had some calves in here that had their vaccination shots. There's 40 or 50 head of them that were just really good calves. And there's several, a lot of these buyers are participating on these number one better end calves. When the auctioneer, I'm sitting there where I can see what's going on, and he starts them out, and you see all these papers waving over on the other side, starting these calves out, and then it finally narrows down to 2 and then to the last bidder. But you just see a lot of participation on these front end calves, so that's good to see. As far as the national market goes, across the country, the slaughterhouse packers processing these cattle, they've really cut their chain speed. They're keeping it really, really low, killing maybe 4 days a week, and they've got that thing down to under 600,000 a week, which is way less than what it was last year. Cattle on feed report Friday was kind of neutral, maybe to a little bit maybe bullish, because there were more cattle placed this year compared to last year. There were fewer placements but higher marketings, and there are a lot of cattle on feed. The cattle on feed was higher than it was last year, so it was fairly neutral, but still it was it wasn't a barn burner either, and the market didn't rebound up in a very positive way. It just kind of stayed the same. But the thing is that the packers are slowing down their chain speed. They're maneuvering and they're positioning themselves where they're not killing too many, because they're having to sell it for a loss. They're not making any money right now because these prices are so high, and the retail price is so high that they can't really add any more to that, because people are going to balk at the price of those front end cuts. The only thing that's saving them, and probably why these cows and bulls are so high, is hamburger meat. And that is probably the best selling thing going right now, is just pure old ground beef, because it's more affordable and you can use it for everything, I guess. But it's kind of sticker shock on the ribeyes and the New York strips and stuff. It's crazy. But people are still buying it. They're moving a lot of meat. That part of it looks pretty good. If we can keep politics and world events out of the market and keep things kind of staying the way they go, it looks like we're going to be in for some high prices for at least the rest of the year, until we start really seeing heifer retention, and that'll show up in numbers somewhere here in the near future, I'm sure. So anyway, everybody's getting a little bit of rain. I know the flies are really bad. We've shipped some calves, some of our producers' calves out there in the country, and some of these weights have been coming in a little bit lighter than we expected, and I think it's due to just some places are wet. There's mosquitoes and there's flies, and that really works on those calves, and it keeps them from gaining like they should. But hey, it's July in Florida. What do you expect? That's what we get, so we're kind of used to that. So anyways, I hope you guys are high prices this week. On the calf side, Morgan Williams from right here in Okeechobee topped the high price with a little calf of 200 pounds. That calf brought $4.90. That calf was bought by Oak Lake. And on the slaughter cow side, Ridgedill and Son Incorporated from Clewiston topped the cow market with a 1,305 pound cow that brought $1.51. That cow was bought by Cargill. Thank you for watching this report. Good to be back with you. Thumbs up, subscribe to our page, get all the information that you need at OkeechobeeLivestockMarket.com. Stay in touch. If we can help you, holler. Have a good week.